What's going on, guys? Briar Rabbit here. Today we're going to go over the top 10 things that I'm really wishing and hoping for inside Destiny 2. So the Destiny 2 reveal is on May 18th in LA. I'll be out there. I'll be playing the game on May 18th. I can't wait. And here is a list of all of the stuff that I really want to see. Now, this isn't going to be comprehensive, right? It's a top 10 list. I gotta make this thing fit in a video, so I couldn't fit everything that I'd like to see in Destiny 2. So I'd love to hear from you guys, and I think we'll be doing a follow-up video to this where whatever you guys put down in the comments, whether it's stuff that I missed or stuff that you're really passionate about, stuff that you really want to see in Destiny 2, put it down in the comments, and we'll do a follow-up list. Basically the same thing. It's the top 10 viewer requested features in Destiny 2 or something along those lines. So I really want to hear what you guys want to see in Destiny 2. We're just 11 days away from the reveal, and it should be a lot of fun. So with that being said, let's start the list. The number one thing that I absolutely want to see in Destiny 2 is 60 frames per second. This one, to me, is nearly a deal breaker. When people start talking about what are you going to play this game on, is it going to be PC, is it going to be PS4, is it going to be the Xbox Scorpio? In the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, if this thing comes out at 30 frames per second on the consoles, there's no doubt I'll be playing it on the PC. It is absolutely one of the biggest annoyances to me about Destiny is the slow frame rate. So if that happens, if it does come out at 30 frames per second on the consoles, I'll definitely be playing it on the PC. However, if it's 60 frames per second on the consoles, then I'll be probably playing it all over the place. But I'd really like to see 60 frames per second on every platform. I think it's really important to Destiny 2's success. Next up, I'd like to see an improved patrol system. So I like the current patrol system. I like being able to land on a planet or land in the Dreadnought or land in a location and go exploring. But I'd really like to see it expanded upon in Destiny 2. I'd like to see the spaces that can be explored be much, much bigger with far less loading in between spaces. And I'd love to see things like settlements and NPCs and world bosses, vehicles, wildlife, quest givers, like all of the stuff that you expect to see in the world of an MMO. I'd love to see that in the patrol spaces of Destiny 2. Really make them feel alive with activity, and you know, you're in constant danger with world bosses roaming around, and you know, you got quest givers just kind of hanging out, and there's secrets to find, similar to what the Dreadnought felt like. I'd really love to feel like it's a living and breathing world when I'm out on patrol, and I'm not just running loops picking up, you know, planetary materials. I did enjoy the patrol system in Destiny 1. Really want to see them expand on it in Destiny 2. It's one of the things that I'm most looking forward to seeing. Number 3 on my list is brand new subclasses. I do not want to see a return of the Destiny 1 subclasses. None of them. I feel like if you want to play with those subclasses, Destiny 1, you can always go back. You can always play your Destiny 1 character again. What I really want in Destiny 2 are brand new subclasses with brand new abilities. And for Bungie to have taken all the things they've learned throughout the 3-year history of Destiny 1 and applied that knowledge to the new subclasses that they're developing for Destiny 2. It doesn't matter to me if they're Arc or Solar or Void, or maybe they have brand new element types. That stuff is kind of on the side for me. It's on the periphery for me. What I want are brand new supers, brand new jumps, especially for the Warlock, and brand new grenades and abilities, and hopefully like support classes. I'd love to have a healer class, you know, stuff like that. I want a real rethink, and I want much more customizability inside the subclasses. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and it'd really add depth to the game. Next up, number 4 on my list is a much bigger story mode spread throughout activities. So in Destiny 1's lifespan, for the most part, when we got story, it was a story mission drop, right? Is you got maybe 4 to 8 hours, depending on the DLC or the expansion, or if it was vanilla Destiny. You got this like initial story blast, and it was over within the first day or two of you playing that new content. What I'd love to see in Destiny 2 is for that content, that story content, to be spread throughout the life cycle of Destiny 2 and Destiny 2 DLCs. So you get that initial hit of story when you run some missions, then you run some strikes and you get a little bit more. The story continues into the raid and continues into PvP, similar to how in Rise of Iron we got a little bit of story when we did Iron Banner for the first time. I would love every activity you do to kind of contribute to the greater story of Destiny. They don't all have to be the same story. The PvP stuff doesn't have to relate to the Cabal. It could be just exploring Iron Banner and Ephrodite and Lord Saladin and, you know, these types of things. There could be different offshoots of the story depending on what you're doing. If they bring back Trials of Osiris, I would like some Trials of Osiris story to enjoy while I'm playing that game mode, at least initially. Next up, I'd like to see exotic quests, more of them, and some that are much more difficult than what we're used to. Now, some of the exotic quests are, in fact, very difficult. The Outbreak Prime is very difficult. Others have been, the Touch of Malice has been very difficult. I like that. I don't need every one of them to be so difficult that casual players can't get the exotics. But some of those things should be difficult, and I'd like to see them be spread throughout the activities so that depending on where you're proficient in Destiny, what you like to do, if you're mainly a PvP player, there should be some exotics that are unlocked through PvP, whether it's quests in PvP or maybe hitting a certain rank in a ranked playlist in PvP, then you get access to an exotic. And I think that'd be a lot of fun, and it'd really drive people to play more types of content to get all of those exotics, and I think that could be a lot of fun in the long run. Speaking of weapons, I'd really like to see weapon mods, and when I talk about weapon mods, I'm not talking about perks, I'm talking about actual modifications you can do to your weapon. And when I talk about this, I'm thinking about Call of Duty, I'm thinking about The Division, I'm thinking about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. What I would love to see is that when you are playing Destiny, one of the things that can drop for you is a modification for a weapon, whether it be a 4x scope or a stock for an auto rifle or a barrel modification for a hand cannon. I'd like to see those things as drops, so you can modify your weapons based on what kind of collectibles you've gotten through playing Destiny, and you can have those different modifications have their own stats. So let's say the IS Luna or an equivalent gun to the IS Luna comes back for Destiny 2. Okay, that's not happening, but let's just use it as an example because it's a popular gun now. So everybody gets an IS Luna, and when you get it, it's just a base weapon. It has base stats assigned to it. There is no RNG based on how good your IS Luna drop is. However, you're going to want to modify that IS Luna to make it good for whatever activity you're getting. So maybe you want max range on your IS Luna, so you start looking for barrel mods, and you find rifled barrel, and then you apply that to your IS Luna, and you decide that you want a quick draw sight, so you get a sight that, you know, for some reason it comes out of your holster faster, and you can draw that weapon faster. That is a modification that you can put on that gun. You have to find that sight somewhere out in the world of Destiny. Explosive rounds, you know, you can find different ammo types for your weapon, and that is a modification that you add to your weapon, and then they can have different rarity levels of these modifications. So, you know, maybe you find a blue one that's pretty easy to find for explosive rounds that can be added to any gun. You find a legendary version that can only be added to legendary gun and legendary weapons, and the modification is a little bit more effective than it is with a blue rare. Or maybe you find an exotic that can only be applied to exotic weapons, but is a little bit more effective than it is in the legendary version. I think that kind of thing would be a lot of fun, and it would add to the customizability of your weapons in Destiny, but it would also help balance out PvP in Destiny. And I think that could be really good, because certain weapon mods could be taken out of PvP, competitive PvP, or they could not be useful in competitive PvP. Perhaps explosive rounds would not work in PvP. So even if you had it modded on your weapon, it just would not function in PvP. But the gun would actually feel similar as it does in PvP and PvE. I'd also like to see armor set bonuses. So right now you go out, you get armor, maybe you get all of the armor for a raid, and it does have bonuses, but they don't work together as a set. And I'd love to see, let's say you get all of the Wrath of the Machine armor. Imagine now you just take 20% less damage if you have every piece of that armor equipped. Or maybe you play a lot of PvP and there's a certain Crucible set of armor. When you have it all equipped, you get 15% faster movement when you have that equipped. I think that'd be a lot of fun, and it would create a really interesting decision-making process for players. Do I want to go with a full set of armor that gives me this set bonus, this 15% faster movement speed set bonus, or do I want an exotic piece of armor that gives me something like double grenades? You'd constantly be making decisions like that based on how you like to play the game and what you want to achieve with your character build. I think this could be a lot of fun, and something that definitely works in other role-playing games. I think it would go well into Destiny 2. Next, and this is an important one for me, ranked playlists for PvP. I'd love to see 2 separate playlists for PvP in Destiny 2. One, a public playlist, just a playlist with no matchmaking in it, or no skill-based matchmaking in it. Everybody just jumps in. They can use whatever they want. It's just utter chaos. It's a lot of fun, and you can just have fun in there with your friends. But a separate rank playlist that the better you do, the higher up in ranks you get. There's certain things that just don't work in there. Maybe like going back to the explosive rounds. Maybe explosive rounds don't work in there. Certain exotics just don't work in there. The rank playlist is going to be a little bit more curated, a little more competitive, and for Crucible players, possibly a little bit more fun. But separating it into ranked and public allows a player who, even if they really enjoy the ranked playlist, maybe they just don't feel like sweating very hard today. Maybe they just want to go into the Crucible and have casual, good time. And they could go back into public. I'd also like to see some rewards for reaching higher ranks in the rank playlist. Mostly cosmetic stuff. You know, you get a different emblem once you hit rank 25, then another one at 30. Similar to the way Halo used to do it in the past. I'd love to see rank playlists in PvP. I think it'd be an enormous addition to Destiny 2. And another thing that I'd love to see in PvP for Destiny 2 is custom matches. Now, we currently can do private matches in Destiny 1. It was a huge feature that was released last year. It was very exciting. The next step for this, and it's something that Bungie used to do very well in Halo games, is custom matches. Let me customize exactly how I want to play with my friends in a private match using custom matches. Let me pick the Guardian Health, the available weapons. It doesn't matter. When you join a custom match, it wouldn't matter what you've collected in Destiny. You have access to everything when you join a custom match. You don't make any character progress when you're in a custom match. You're not associated with any of your Destiny characters. You're just joining a custom match. You can select any weapons, any armor. You can modify things like Guardian Health. Maybe you can even modify the gravity. You know, you can do anything. You can have all the weapons, all the maps, all the modifiers that are perhaps in Nightfalls or in raids. All those things can be available to select in custom matches. I think that could be a lot of fun, and it would be really valuable for competitive play, which I think I'd love to see competitive Destiny really take off with Destiny 2. I think custom matches would really allow that to happen. Next up, and this is the last thing, and it's something that I really would like to see, it's dedicated servers. I'd love to see dedicated servers for Destiny, and I do think that if it doesn't happen, especially on the PC side of things, that it could be a serious problem for the PC players. PC players at this point are pretty used to having dedicated servers for their multiplayer games, and if it's not there for Destiny 2 PC players, it could be a problem. Now, I have a sneaking suspicion that it might be there only for Destiny 2 players. On the Activision earnings call last week, they mentioned there would be bespoke features for Destiny 2 on PC. And I'm wondering if dedicated servers could be one of those things. I hope not. I'd love to see dedicated servers go on PlayStation, on Xbox, and on PC. But I got a concern in the back of my head that this may be a PC-only thing. So we'll have to wait and see. I think it'll be something that they'll announce pretty soon if it's going to happen, because it's a highly requested feature for Destiny and Destiny 2, and we'll have to see. So that's my top 10. Those are the top 10 things that I really would love to see next week on May 18th when I go play Destiny 2 for the first time. But like I said before, I really want to hear what you guys want to see. What are those things? What are those features? What are those game modes that you absolutely want to see in Destiny 2 on May 18th? What is driving you? What has got you excited? What are the big hooks that you want to see? Like I said, we'll probably do a follow-up video to this one. If you guys have a lot of great ideas, I'll probably just do like the same list, but all viewer submitted ideas. So put those ideas down in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.